Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Back to Basics with Mandy. I'm just a grandma doing grandma things, and today I got something interesting for you. If you're a follower of the page, you will know that I suffer from arthritis, and in the last few weeks it's been a severe flare up. So I decided to go on a zero carb, zero sugar diet, and of course, it was a little difficult because I'm still feeding other people, and so I'm having to eat by myself. So this recipe I got for you today is a great recipe for if you're by yourself or you're one or two people, on how to put some quick, convenient freezer meal into your freezer that you can just grab and go. Now, all this stuff I have in front of me, I've pulled out of my freezer, and I keep this in my freezer. Usually it's always in my freezer. I have, let's just see here, I have frozen peas, frozen corn. This is the frozen cauliflower rice that I made up a few weeks ago. You can see that video, how to freeze cauliflower, and I turned some of that cauliflower into cauliflower rice. At the time, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with that, because it's not something we eat around here on a daily basis, or not even daily, periodically. I actually never used it before because, we're not big health people, right? But, when you got health problems, you got to start being health people. So anyway, so I found this cauliflower rice recipe. It was so good. I thought, I'm going to make a whole bunch of that, and I'm going to put it in the freezer, and then I can just grab it and do a quick dinner for myself, just one person, right? So if you're one person, this will be great for you. I have my frozen onion, frozen peppers. I got red and green. Well, that's just more onion, and frozen celery. And I also have some frozen hot peppers. We don't normally have hot peppers in this house, but because this is just a recipe for me, I'm going to put a few, not many, because I'm not overly fond of hot stuff, but I do want to get rid of these. Okay, guys. So let's get started here. So what I've done is I've pulled out my frozen things, and I've pulled out just some little baggies here, freezer baggies. And I'm going to write on the freezer baggie, just so I know what's in here. Oh, cauliflower rice bowl is what I'm going to call it. Just like, you go to the store and you pay whatever you do in the frozen food aisle for little individual bowl size servings of food. This is it. This is easy. Just make your own, guys. So the main ingredient in our cauliflower bowl, of course, is the cauliflower rice. This is all I have of this rice. So I'm going to use it all up, and this is going to depend on how many little bowls I get. So I thought we'd start with a cup. Now remember, you guys can adjust this recipe to however large or small you want it to be for your own purposes. So we're going to start with one cup. You know what? Just a minute. Now I own these things, so I thought, I have them. I should use them. These are to help with, making freezer meals. So I have 4. So let's say we're going to get at least 4 meals here and see what happens. Okay, so we got 4. So let's see how far our cauliflower rice goes. Okay. Okay, so I definitely had enough cauliflower rice to make 4, and it looks like there's enough in there to make 1 more, so we'll make 5. So I'm going to put 5 individual freezer bowls into my freezer. I only got 4 of those stands, so we'll just use the rest of this up. This was so good when I made it, guys. I couldn't even believe how much I enjoyed it. Like, it, you know, if a person has to eat healthy, actually, there's no reason why a person can't eat healthy. The food they make nowadays is so good. So good with all the spices and the flavorings. And, you know, we really don't need all the stuff that we eat. Okay, so I'm going to put in half a cup of corn into each bag. This is what I do with these great big bags. I put them inside another bag when I freeze them so the corn doesn't end up all over the place. I'm really bad with twist ties and stuff like that. And half, oh, that's a cup. And half a cup of peas. Okay, and now we have our onion. This is all the pepper I have. We go through an awful lot of pepper. So I'm just going to spread, I would say about a quarter a cup of each one of these things. I'm just going to spread a little bit of green pepper into each of these. And I got a little bit of red pepper too, just because I don't have very much green pepper. But you guys can use whatever you want. You can use any combination you want of frozen stuff and put it in these bowls. And then, you know, you don't have to spend $5, $6, $7 for, you know, a little bowl of fast food. I mean, it's not fast food, it's frozen food, prepared food from the grocery store. You've prepared your own food. Now the onions. Okay, so and like I said, guys, this all depends on how much you put in, how much you like. This is just a quarter a cup. And it's probably slightly less than a quarter a cup. I'm not quite filling it up. And then our celery. Same thing, a quarter a cup of celery. I have lots of celery in my freezer. If you remember that big haul of celery I got, if you have seen that video where I cut it up and I froze it. And last but not least, these hot peppers. Just a couple in each. Not a lot because I take a little bit of heat, but I don't actually love it. So that's more because I want to get rid of them. All right, guys, and there we have it. There we have it. Just like that. Nothing to it. Little individual size serving. Get the air out. cauliflower rice bowls. Completely without any preservatives, without any of the stuff that we can't pronounce. It was perfect. So if I were to buy these, let's pretend a cauliflower rice is actually very expensive in the grocery store. So anything when it says cauliflower rice, the price kind of goes up. So we have five. So if we said they were $5 a bowl, 5, 10, 15, 20, $25 worth of fast freezer meals ready to go, individual servings. And as we know, to put this together didn't cost me near $25. Shall we go over to the store? Shall we go over to the stove and make one up, guys? I guess I could eat one right now. Let's go over to the stove and we'll make one up and I'll show you how to do it. But first, I'm going to pop all this stuff back in the freezer. I don't want it sitting out and I don't want it thawing. So it goes, you got to make sure you're kind of quick. You go directly from the freezer and then right back to the freezer. Get the air out. Okay, guys, we're over here at the stove. I've got my freezer meal that I just packaged up. A freezer bowl, as we say. And now we're going to put a little grease in the bottom of the pan. I already had some in there, but that's just vegetable oil. And we're going to get that hot. And it's already hot because I already had it going. And then we're going to add this. And we're going to quick fry this up. There we go. Now I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning to this. So I got some minced garlic here. I'm just going to throw some minced garlic in there. And we're going to get this good and fried. All that ice has reduced the heat of our pan, but we want to get it up hot again. If I had a gas stove, that wouldn't happen because the gas would keep the pan really hot. That's why in Chinese food restaurants, they always use gas. I find that a little bit difficult because I find like I can never make Chinese food appropriately without a gas stove because the pans are never hot enough. Chinese food requires really hot pans, guys. We're just going to cook this. As you can you see that in there? There's a little bit of liquid, a little bit of water. That's from, because it was frozen. So we're just going to cook that off. And if you're new to this, what I mean by cooking that off is that the longer I cook this, the more the liquid evaporates. So I want to get rid of that water before I add anything else. Okay, our pan has really gotten back up to speed and the water is pretty much gone. A little bit of pepper. And remember, this is for me now, guys, so I can season this however I want. Yep. I have there's all kinds of different dressings if you have it. Look at this. This is a ponzu citrus seasoned dressing and sauce. I'm not going to put that in, but that would be kind of nice. But we're just going to make this normal here. I'm going to add just like about a couple tablespoons of soy sauce. Oops. These are my vegetables. This will darken it up a bit. And the last thing I'm going to add, guys, is sesame seed oil. Don't use sesame seed oil as your cooking oil. This is more like a flavoring. It burns really kind of fast. So there, this is done. So I'll just add that last little bit in there. All the liquid is done out of this. Let's get them fried. Now, like I said, you can add an egg to that if you want. I'm not going to bother, but last time I did. Really, you could add anything you want. You're your own master. You know what you like. Okay, there we have it. There you go. How does that look? Mmm. Absolutely delicious. Perfect, guys. Perfect. Dinner for one. Dinner for one is served. All right, guys. That's it. That's it for today. I hope you enjoy this recipe. I hope you give it a try. If you're single or maybe you're a two-person household, you can make up all kinds of little freezer dishes in baggies for a fast fry and to cook up. Mmm. This is just delicious. And, healthy too, right? So healthy. Like I tell you, I'm finding it a little hot. Those hot peppers I put in there, but you know what? It's okay. I knew what I was doing. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. We'll see you next time on Back to Basics with Mandy. Have a good day and, balance out the sweets with something healthy.